This is a video that I feel has been long overdue. I'm JumboG and I'm a huge fan of Emmy the Robot. I learned how to model and animate in Blender as well as draw just because I fell in love with this comic's Golden Age inspired artwork, enthralling characters, and just the overall vibe. After bombarding this channel with 200 videos over the past 3.5 years, I think it's finally time to dive into the corners of the comic's past. I want to spotlight the more obscure content like the early artwork, and to document the story that has led to the fandom we know today. Aside from making YouTube videos, I also help moderate an Emmy the Robot Discord called Andromeda. I do lots of edits on the Emmy the Robot wiki, and I run the Nanboru, an Emmy the Robot image repository. One of my favorite things to do is make or promote Emmy the Robot content, the kind of stuff I'd be excited to see if someone else had created it. This is especially true for older or lesser known official Emmy art. I love going back and seeing some of the very first images of Emmy and feeling the excitement of knowing what's in store. Unfortunately, the history and early art of Emmy is piecemeal. Some of the information is cataloged, but most isn't documented anywhere besides the original social media posts. So this video is meant to remedy that, acting as an overview to Emmy the Robot, its history, and the larger fandom. I want to explore how Emmy started and shine a light on the lesser known content that came before the official comic, as well as have an account for Emmy's history. This is exactly the kind of content I'd love to have seen earlier in the fandom's history, so I hope you're looking forward to it as well. I'd first like to do a quick overview of Emmy the Robot for any new fans. I don't want to spoil too much of the story, so we'll stay away from major spoilers, but we will go over some of the early story beats of the comic. If you're watching and you find the plot entertaining but haven't read the comic, I'd recommend checking it out first on Webtoons. There's a link in the description. It's a short comic, so it can be read quickly, and a synopsis will not do justice to the full story and wonderful art that you're going to be missing out on. Emmy the Robot is a slice-of-life drama webcomic about an android nanny, dubbed an android, named Emmy, of course. The comic focuses on Emmy's life as she serves her owners, the Delaire family, interacts with her friends, and ultimately faces life-changing events after an accident leaves her outmoded or not able to perform her original duties. In a roughly 90s yet timeless alternate history, Nandroids are the top-of-the-line robotic maids created by Sterling Robotics. They're a high-end product that costs about as much as a luxury vehicle, which makes them highly popular amongst the upper class. They have advanced training and adaptive learning, and they are schooled in subjects that make them the perfect maid, from cooking, cleaning, self-defense, to subjects like advanced math. They have built-in protection features like a fire extinguisher and pepper spray, and are guaranteed to last a lifetime. They're one of the best robots money can buy. Nandroids are created and taught in batch classes every 3 months before being sent out to families around the world. These Nandroid school classes teach them everything they need to know on how to interact and properly care for humans, as well as pass government certification, marking them safe for human interactions. Emmy is part of the very first batch of Nandroids and is sent to a rich neighborhood called Hawthorne Grove to serve the Delaire family, consisting of non-profit lawyer Angela, Sterling marketing executive Ted, and their daughter, Madeline. She's sent along with her sisters Amy, Franny, Molly, and Polly, who each go to a different family in the same neighborhood. Amy serves the Khatri family. She's bubbly, and while a capable Nandroid, is more known for her blonde moments, where she will mistake horses for cows, rocks for eggs, and confuses movie plots for real events. She often plays the role of comedic relief. Franny is the chronically overworked Nandroid of the Flag family. She helps care for 5 kids, in particular the twin brothers Nathan and Ryan, who constantly have her pushed to the edge and running late. Possibly the closest Nandroid to Emmy, the two have confided in each other throughout the comic, with Franny seemingly the most grounded, lecturing Emmy on how she can relax and that things don't have to be perfect, which is at odds for how most Nandroids would think. Polly, who often takes the role of yes-nan to Molly, serves the Spiegel-Price family and has taken a liking to fine art and, secretly, boy bands. And lastly, Molly, the queen bee who serves the obnoxiously rich Mendenhall family. Considered a mean girl by some, Molly is serious and confident, having a keen eye for excellence and always looking to point out flaws. The only thing larger than her ponytail might just be her ego. The first 5 years of Emmy's service go smoothly, with her and Madeline closely bonding throughout that time. We see how each of the Nandroids have settled into their lives and families. Franny is constantly late, Amy forgets that My Fair Lady was a movie, and Molly and Polly enjoy spearheading the healthy dose of daily gossip. This first part of the story is all slice of life, showing funny interactions and giving you a sense of how an affluent, snobby robot lives her life, with the biggest worry being what she needs to make for dinner. That all changes after Emmy has a dangerous malfunction. She loses consciousness during the event, and upon waking up, is devastated and embarrassed about what happened. After this event, Ted, who works for Sterling, takes Emmy in for repairs, and we're introduced to Marcus Webb, a military veteran who services robots as a bot doc for Sterling. Marcus earnestly works on Emmy, but after 2 weeks of no progress, Emmy overhears about the possibility of her being dismantled, and in an attempt to avoid detection and through a series of coincidences, she's sent out with the trash and finds herself in DuPont, the neighboring rundown construction hub for Beacon City. She's rescued by Darcy Boyle, a teenage street urchin with a knack for robotics, who promises to help repair Emmy in the hopes of receiving a juicy reward. The pair then head to where Darcy lives and meet a group of other outmoded robots who reside there. Emmy's main goal now is to return home to Madeline. The story up to this point has followed Emmy, and so we've only seen the sheltered lifestyle that she leads. But from here on, the story makes a prominent shift into its main act. It becomes more serious, and we see a darker side to Emmy's world, mainly in how robots are treated, but also in the stark contrast to the upper-class life shown in the first act. Up to this point, Emmy has been treated well enough, but that's just because she's a product of a rich family that was bought to make life easier. And the moment she's no longer fulfilling that role, we see how shunned robots become once they've been deemed outmoded. What started as a funny joke in the first comic is now painfully on display, with Emmy being in danger just by existing in the wrong place. That's as far as we can go without giving everything away, but as you can see, it's more than just a funny comic about a cute robot. It's an engaging read with some top-notch art by a great artist. And so with the brief summary done, let's take a look at the history of Emmy, how it all started, and what's changed over the years. I especially want to focus on the early years and showcase some of the first artwork that later fans might have missed. Emmy the Robot is written and illustrated by Dominic Cellini, the sole talent behind the story. Dominic has years of experience being a freelance artist and character designer, being a go-to favorite for many individuals. His only published work, made concurrently with Emmy's creation, is his short children's book 21 Terrifying Monsters, published on July 26, 2019. It's a short rhyme book which shows off his eye for character design. Emmy's story actually begins the previous October. In October of 2018, Dominic saw a post on social media for a character design challenge. With it being Halloween, he ended up creating this, Imaginary Friend. This is the picture that started it all. The two characters Dom created here would stick with him and later be used as the inspiration for Emmy and Madeline. You can already see both designs nearly finalized, with Emmy depicted as the ghost of a young maid. With the characters of Imaginary Friend in Dom's head, the story of Emmy began, and behind the scenes, several character iterations of Emmy were thought up, with alternate hairstyles eventually becoming the inspiration for her Nandroid peers. Emmy's final design and the first official Emmy the Robot art was unveiled on May 27, 2019. We see the same two characters as before, with Emmy officially gaining her title, and Madeline remaining unnamed. We see Emmy's outfit has been settled on, with her formal uniform being depicted as well. In this early art style, the shape of the eyes and face can be seen to differ from the final comic, but the colors and shape language have already been decided. Over the next month, Dominic continued to post sketches for some of the upcoming characters in Emmy the Robot, but all without a hint at the story or any lore. We can see Darcy's early design is much more rough and tumble, her outfit resembling something more of a mid-century blue-collar worker, complete with cigar. Dennis and Garrison make an appearance as well, seemingly unchanged from their final comic counterparts. Dennis has his military service medal and missing nose, and Garrison keeps his sour demeanor. All these social media posts culminate into the first comic featuring Emmy, posted with the text ABP, Always Be Pleasant, from June 22nd, 2019. A chipper Emmy helps explain her role as a robotic maid, and already we get a sense of the mistreatment that robots face in her world. From here, Dominic continues posting for several months, releasing a total of 18 posts covering a range of topics, showing events that seem to predate the main story, as well as events that will get redrawn for the final comic. You can see that even from the very beginning, Dominic had the larger story beats planned out. In her second ever appearance, Emmy is shown with her damaged arm and overall DuPont appearance, although with minor changes like the tracker being on her leg, more extensive damage, and her sporting some kind of liquid-filled backpack. We can also already see several shots that would show up in the final comic making their initial appearances here, with these pieces being posted in summer of 2019, years before being redrawn for the main comic. It's obvious Dominic has put a lot of thought into the story even at this early point. We get a closer look at Darcy as well, who at this point still had a robot cat companion who was eventually taken over by Barf. An element from this picture is also borrowed for the later story. Notice how the weapon she's depicted with here resembles what the shopkeep uses towards Emmy later on. There's funny slice of life comics too, like Emmy trying to make Madeline do math, worried how much she'll forget over the summer. This piece didn't make the final cut and was never included in the final comic, but it was a great intro to the character dynamics. It's interesting to see how Madeline looks closer to her true age in this art style as well. And here's the first time we see the other Nandroids, all pushing strollers in more of a what-if scenario, or a showcase of their design rather than anything from the main story. Notably, Franny is still missing. This is my personal favorite. Emmy and Darcy trading in some scrap, with Emmy learning how to assimilate with Darcy's help. I'm still holding out hope that this will get remade and included in the final comic. While some of these comics that Dom posts to his social media will become official comic lore later, others remain as soft canon, or being fun pokes at current events, like Emmy reminding you to wash your hands during the COVID pandemic. As Dominic refines his art style, we can see Emmy changing throughout the year. By August 15th, 2019, her style has begun to shift more towards the final comic, with her face and eyes becoming rounder. And 6 months after that, we can see the art style has fully evolved into what the main comic will share, with Dominic's color choice becoming more saturated. While up to this point, all of Dominic's work was posted solely on his social media sites, he chose to open a Patreon on March 20th, 2020, offering fans a way to support him along with getting access to comics early, exclusive art, and updates that would follow down the road. After his first month on Patreon, he had gained 85 subscribers, with that number continuously growing over the years, peaking at 1,037 in December of 2024, and currently sitting in the high 800s. Comics are posted to Patreon first, and then released to webtoons and social media a week or two later, with most posts happening on Saturday mornings, making the comic a once-a-week event. Finally, 10.5 months after Emmy's first posting, Dominic creates a webtoon page and posts Greetings, a remake of Emmy's first comic appearance from social media, to webtoons on April 5th, 2020, marking the first official Emmy the Robot comic. The comic was posted regularly, averaging a comic a week with a few hiatuses sprinkled in. Being a one-man show means that when Dominic is on vacation, things slow to a crawl, with sometimes months in between postings. Unfortunately, Webtoons doesn't make any internal numbers public, and it doesn't show any growth history for comics, so we're limited on seeing how fast the comic grew. The only historical information we have for Dominic's Webtoon follower count was when he posted some milestones to Twitter. Once when he reached 80,000 followers in November of 2021, and then again just 2 months later whenever he broke 100,000 in January of 2022. That's fast growth, and it's continued, as his current follower count sits at 261,000. Combined with Emmy's current view count of 40 million, it shows that the comic has remained popular and continues to grow. Aside from its webtoons and social media posting, there wasn't any supplementary materials for the first several years. No merchandise, no side stories. The comic itself was the only material, and so not much happens in the official category for Emmy. In January of 2022, Webtoons does offer Dominic a spot on their Canvas Creator program, allowing him access to a larger user base as Webtoons directly promotes Emmy. Aside from that, the comic is continuously posted without anything major occurring. The first hint of something new came on November 11th, 2022, when Dominic teased the release of the first piece of official Emmy the Robot merchandise, a plush doll of Emmy created through Makeship. Adorable. The plush campaign was officially announced via social media a few weeks later and was fully funded with a total of 431 plushes being sold. They began shipping out in March of 2023 and to this day remain the only official Emmy-related plush. A Madeline plush was in the works, having won a social media vote in late January of 2023 on Twitter and Instagram. But when the Makeship campaign began in September of that year, only 50 units were sold by the project's end a month later, missing the minimum requirement of 200, leaving the only Madeline plush to exist owned by Dominic himself. Later that year, in October of 2023, the Canvas Creator Program partnership ended, and that December, Dominic officially announces his intent to release a physical copy of Emmy the Robot. This leads to the largest hiatus yet throughout all of 2024 and up to the present, with only 1 or 2 comics being posted a month, with some months getting no posts at all. Dominic is continuing his work on the comic while still working on the physical release and more Emmy merch in the form of another plush that is yet to be identified but was revealed to be in the works in a Reddit AMA. He also revealed in the same AMA that he has been approached not just once, but multiple times about an Emmy the Robot animated project. Aside from confirmation that the negotiations didn't go anywhere, no further details were provided. Here's hoping we get to see an Emmy the Robot animation in the future. To help boost engagement, on September 10th, 2024, Dominic and his brother John made an official Emmy the Robot Instagram and Twitter, where the comic began to get reposted, much like on Webtoons. This new Instagram account proved popular, gaining roughly 310,000 followers in its first year. This helped pave the way for the next batch of Emmy merchandise, which came on December 2nd, 2024, when Dominic announced a new event in which Patreon subscribers could earn a signed print and sticker set of the Nandroids. A vote was held for the fan favorite Nandroid of the year throughout the month of December, with anyone voting for the winner receiving special items at the $3 and $5 tiers, the latter receiving a signed print or sticker set. It was also announced that Patreon users who donated at the $5 tier for 2 months by the following April would receive the sticker set by itself. As the month progressed, Dominic also stated that because Emmy was an obvious choice for most people and thus at an unfair advantage, anyone who voted for the runner-up would also receive the same bonuses. On January 18, 2025, the winner was announced as, big surprise, Emmy, and a special picture was posted depicting her receiving her fan favorite award. The final votes were Emmy in first with 413, Franny in second with 136, Molly in third with 77, Amy in fourth with 42, and Polly in fifth with 23. The signed prints and stickers were sent out a few months later. Emmy the Robot is in an interesting position. Despite it being a popular webcomic, its active fan base is smaller than one might expect. Small enough that its full history, all the fan characters that have been created, the fan stories that have been written, the fan art that's been drawn, and the group content that has been made, could all realistically be cataloged by a single person. I've attempted some archiving on our Fandom wiki, but the full breadth of the fandom and its history is outside the scope of this video, so I just want to take a look at a small snippet of the fan content that's been produced, focused through the lens of Nandromeda, which has become the go-to hub for Emmy-related projects. We're a tight-knit community with dedicated artists that have helped become a driving force in getting new art for the fandom, and sharing what our excitement and passion has made will hopefully get others excited about Emmy too. The following will be just the larger and more recent endeavors, showing off some of the best things that have come out of our little corner. The largest group project by far is the Nanzine, our fan magazine. It's a yearly celebration of the community where over 30 artists and writers pitch in to help show their love for the fandom by making the kinds of fun and engaging things you'd expect from an actual magazine. There's fan articles detailing people's ideas and insights about the comic, unique art from fandom favorites, comics, stories, tons of fun activities, all while trying to appear as professional as possible, just like a real magazine. It's a huge collaborative effort that nearly doubled in size during its second year, and I'm excited to see what we can come up with to include in issue 3 and beyond. It alone is a huge project that shows our dedication to Emmy the Robot. The creativity of our community is also shown off in the video game mods that have been made. Nothing beats getting to enjoy an old hobby and involving Emmy. She's been modded into classics like Super Mario 64 and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, as well as new titles like the Resident Evil 2 remake. It's so much fun being able to enjoy these great games and have Emmy included. Who doesn't want to see Emmy blasting zombies? Fan dubs are always popular for written media, and Emmy's format makes it a prime target for them with its short, episodic chapters, and over time we've seen several attempts be made at adapting Emmy's story as well. As of the writing for this video, one of the largest is the dub created by Anthony Legato.
I saw you-know-who at the Orchard Club last night with a new mystery gentleman.
It features a full voice cast and covers the first 25 or so comics, including Patreon content, and can be a great introduction for new fans. I especially love the credit sequence included at the end of each episode. Super polished. One of our most anticipated events we do are our frequent Secret Santas, where groups of up to 30 people exchange gifts, typically artwork, but also Nandroid-related stories for one another. We hold multiple events a year, and there's always an enthusiastic turnout. The last event we did for Halloween 2025 saw over 80 pieces created and shared among our members, with one person contributing nearly 50 all on her own. Everything that we work on or participate in, including this video, is to show our appreciation for this great webcomic and to get others excited in the same ways that it excites us. Not all Emmy communities are like this. There are very few that enjoy or promote Emmy in a way that maintains the image that the comic sets for itself. We want Emmy the Robot to be known as a fantastic webcomic and to distance it and ourselves from unsavory characters and bad actors who are only interested in the subject matter because of what they find arousing, and churn out content that serves only to alienate newcomers. So the best that we can do is to be positive and proactive, creating the kind of content we want to see and want Emmy to be known for, stuff we're proud of people seeing. So if you've decided that you like Emmy the Robot and want to get in on making content or just enjoying what we do, and want Emmy the Robot to grow in a positive way, consider joining us in Andromeda or follow our subreddit. We try to maintain a positive and friendly community, free from bad actors, and promote actual art, not AI reposts. You can tell the health of a community by how much actual art gets made versus the same dead avenues getting flooded with AI. If you want to be a part of an active Emmy the Robot community and like the comic for what it is, Andromeda is the place to be. Check the description for an invite. So I hope I've sold you on this webcomic or helped to reignite your passion if you're a longtime fan. I want to get people excited about the fandom that I love and to help spread the word about Emmy the Robot. And the best way to do it is to help grow and contribute to the places dedicated to Emmy, like the Nanboru. If you want the full resolution images of any of the fan art used in this video, look for it at emmytherobot.art. The Nanboru is the largest collection of Emmy the Robot artwork on the internet, and all of Dominic's non-webtoon art is cataloged there as well, with links to the original social media posts. And not just his artwork from thousands of fans and followers, all tagged for easy browsing. Go check it out, find some new fan art, or upload anything you find to be missing. Or if you're ready to jump into the fandom side of things, check out the Fandom wiki at emmytherobot.wiki. There's pages there listing hundreds of fan characters and stories, making it easy for you to find something that might pique your interest. If you already have a favorite story, hop on over and give the main character a wiki page. Having a brief synopsis of the story can help others find relevant characters and get them interested in new favorites. This is the first video of its kind I've ever done, so any feedback is appreciated. What did you like? What did you think needed work? More importantly, what else do you want to see in the future? What would you like to hear about regarding Emmy or the fandom? This video was a huge undertaking, but if, like me, it's the kind of thing you like to see and enough people want more, another could be made. I just need to know what topics interest the public the most. Everyone in these credits helped out immensely and in many different ways. Even just proofreading what was written is a huge help, so thank you to these specific members. And of course, you. This kind of content would never have been made without an audience, so thank you for watching. Until next time, keep enjoying Emmy the Robot.